Okay, cool. So hi. At the moment, I don't think anybody's watching, but that's okay. Uh, I still wanted to live stream this to have some kind of like recorded version of what I want to do here. So I'll kind of just go ahead and explain it. I have a goal of one day writing a book. I've always had that goal as a kid. I was always, interested in being creative and writing. And one of my fascinations is kind of with books and stories that have like a really deep lore and, complex history, lots of events, characters, whatever. Um, and I kind of decided at some point that I wanted to do something along those lines, but I wanted to try and find a way to make it different, like approach that concept in a different way. And I love this game, Dwarf Fortress. So if you're watching this, you maybe know what it is, maybe not. But it has a really deep, world generation aspect to it. And I thought it'd be cool to start a world super early. I think like the minimum you can do in vanilla is a world that's only 5 years old. So only 5 years of history and events that have been simulated. And just try to sim, like, I came up with the number of 1,000 years. Play different forts, go through different scenarios, influence certain things, from my own perspective and standing, and then also go back and look into the world using Legends mode to kind of go through the history and find, cool things that have happened over time. So that's kind of the end goal with this. I wanted to live stream it to potentially, if anybody watches, give the chance for them to like engage and interact with it and be kind of fun. We can name dwarves after people. We can, come up with ideas together for, campaigns and different embark goals, I guess. We embark and want to do X or Y or Z. And yeah, without further ado, let's do it. I'm gonna do a 5-year history length. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna stick with. Let's stick with medium. Number of civilizations. We'll keep everything else pretty much vanilla. Just for the sake of keeping it simple, not messing with too much, not trying to do too much with it. Just want to keep the history length short so that we are actually the ones influencing history. So when we start, once the world is generated, the history is generated, and we can actually pick a place to embark. We will, year 5 will technically be year 1 in this project. And over the course of however long this takes, we will go through 1,000 years of this world's history and I will turn it into like a writing project of some kind. Creating the absolute land. I love that. What a name. The absolute land. Yeah, super quick. So, already 987 historical figures already. That's kind of cool. There's a dwarf king of the Diamond of Length and a dwarf queen of the Dead Rack. That's Queen of the Dead Rack sounds odd. The Zebra Demon Tour, the Fragile of the Slick Thief, created the position of Chancellor as a matter of course. Now, what does that mean? I don't know. Cool. We're gonna play in this world though. But yeah, eventually, we're gonna go back through Legends mode and explore and investigate the history of the world as it stands. 1,000 years from this embark date. Skip the tutorial. I have almost 500 hours. Ooh, so that means there's goblin pits. That is so interesting because... Oh, so that's what that was. That demon lord or whatever basically unlocked the goblins. So in a couple test playthroughs that I've done of this, Goblins really didn't make too much noise as it is. Like, there was no goblin civilizations. Okay. So that's actually kind of perfect because the first thing I wanted to do, the first embark I wanted to do was just a basic castle slash military fort. And now we can have this goal, this improv goal of trying to get rid of these goblins that have kind of popped up in the last year. So we can play as one of these mountain home regions. There's two major dwarven civilizations. And we can try to like get rid of these goblin pits. That could be kind of fun. Cool. Maybe we do somewhere in close proximity, like almost like an outpost. So maybe like here. Have everything we need: fluxstone layer, iron, gold, silver, some soil, aquifer. There's human and elves for trading nearby, and then it's also in close proximity to the goblins. So once we have some soldiers, you know, maybe right here in this like almost valley. I'll make sure we have some trees. Cool. Okay. Economy normal, enemies normal. I'm just gonna start with default stuff. Nothing crazy. Don't need to like overly set things up. There we go. Our first outpost. Group tongs. A dwarven outpost. You have arrived. After a journey from the mountain homes into the forbidding wilderness beyond, your harsh trek has finally ended. Your party of 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of all of Doran Romek. I think that's the king. There are almost no supplies left, but with stout labor comes sustenance. Whether by bolt, plow, or hook, provide for your dwarves. You're expecting a supply caravan just before winter entombs you, but it is spring now. Enough time to delve, secure lodgings, ere the dingoes get hungry. Oh, ere the dingoes get hungry. A new chapter of dwarven history begins here at this place. Tomilin. Group tongs. Strike the earth. Okay, so get rid of that. Immediately pause. And let's just analyze what we got around us. I already see, I think magnetite is, I believe, iron. That's pretty good. Trying to think of the best place to dig in. Honestly, like, oh, right in here. There's already chalk too. Maybe just dig in like right here. This can be like if we were to, oh, let's make a little mock. Yeah, that's a little big. Well, the goal is to also have a castle, right? So maybe I want to start lower, and then I can kind of, we can kind of layer it above the mountain. So we'll go down as far as we can. Yeah, maybe we start down here. And then we can build the castle up, and it kind of, the castle is sort of built as part of the mountain. That'd be kind of cool. But nonetheless, we need somewhere to start. So let's do this. Let's start, let's have this little nook here. Do this. I'm gonna be picky. Honestly, this is like a nice natural little cove we can build from. Oops. God. Fumbling this. Alright, this can be like our beginner little meeting center. If I'm not mistaken, we should have 2 picks. Oh, 3. I don't normally play like default embark. I'm not gonna do make the Fisher Dwarf our 3rd miner. So we're gonna get wood going. We're gonna dig out a nice little place for the dwarves to at least, you know, duck inside to. Little hobbit hole, almost quite literally. Get them inside because they don't like to be outside. They want to be underground essentially. We'll just kind of let that play out. Our woodcutter's getting some clearing the trees. Nice. I'm gonna go ahead and make this a meeting zone already. Just to get the dwarves inside. Doesn't have to be pretty. Just want them to hang out here rather than by default hanging out above ground at the wagon. I'm gonna also make a stockpile here for everything other than wood. I don't want wood or stones going here. I just want them to bring everything down to our little starter. Then I will also get carpenter going. And since we already have, there's some chalk here. That's a flux stone, which we can use to turn iron into steel. I'm gonna have them work on that, just to have it exposed. And then I'm also gonna do a little auto mining. I can't remember if magnetite is iron ore or if it's the copper silver hybrid. But just to give my miners something to do while I get a carpenter working on other things. I'm also gonna get a pen pasture going. Well, 8x8, get all of our... Ooh, we have a yak bull and a cow. That means we could... And they already have a calf, actually. That's nice. We could do a little bit of animal husbandry. Get our woodworker to start working on beds as well. 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, I don't want the miners to be working on this. I want them to only focus on mining for now. Let everybody else do this other stuff. They're gonna start. Oh, I don't care about kaolinite right now. Whatever. You know what? Just to keep them in the same area. There's also chalk here. Ah, it's silver and copper. Shit. Okay. That's fine. Give them something to do. Nonetheless. Right. Actually. Well, you know what? That actually isn't bad. We could start smelting early, even without. I could just do some wood burning. Yeah, I might do that just to get like a blacksmith training. We could have them make goblets and other things like that. I don't mind doing that. I don't have any rocks. Also, make sure I do this. Super important if you never played this game. Labor, kitchen, lump helmets. Make it so you don't, so dwarves don't cook with them. That is gonna be like my main source of drink making. At least early game. I'm actually gonna make a still, doesn't matter with what. We'll make a little farm plot as well. Just to always make sure there's a steady supply of alcohol. And I get someone working on brewing. Maybe, maybe I take the planter off of that and we make our stone crafter. Then our planter, work on lump helmets. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, standing orders. Other. Only farmer's harvest. Let's keep the farmer busy. Only selected will plant as well. What's up, Mick? Appreciate you jumping in, dude. One's a bit funny and oh, there's a fit bunny. Alright, so this is a decent little base for our castle. This can be like, yeah, this could be, we can build some defenses up and in front. Let's go build a couple staircases down. I don't think I sound like him. Ooh. Oh no, perfect. Iron ore is ready too. As well. already too. Let me make sure, another thing with my stone use, I don't want them to use... I don't want them to use any flux stone, which is stone that I can use to make steel. I don't want them to use them in like normal rock crafting jobs, because that's a fucking waste. Alright, so they're gonna be a bit busy. Let's see. Maybe I should cancel all this for just a moment. Let's start digging out like underground, like the city part of the castle. So it's gonna be a castle over top of a city. Let's go maybe one more down, just to make sure we're not any soil. So this is good. So let's carve out a little outing. This can be there's all this shit down here anyway. So much chalk. I need other stone. What else can I have people do while... Maybe work on some wood crafts. I could also have... I'm gonna need barrels and bins. Maybe just have the carpenter work on that for a bit. Do some wood crafts for trading when that comes. Okay, we're starting to get other... I'll settle on a 16 by 16 to start here. And then we're gonna start I need to start carving out... I need to do a tavern. Tavern should be like the centerpiece, I feel. So I have the most room going this way, so I'm gonna make like... Maybe a big tavern here, like going out this way. And then we'll have a main hallway, and we'll have like industry, and we'll have some residential area as well. Okay, we also have an... Oh. I want to start making stone blocks. Like now that we're actually starting to get blocks that aren't... or stone that's not a flux stone. Alright, rock blocks. Stone, other stone. Lump helmets. start making stockpiles and organizing where my shit is actually going. Since plum helmets are gonna go right here. It'll be, you know, super handy for brewing. It's right there. I'll do everybody harvest. So anybody that's available will harvest while the brewer is actually brewing shit. Damn. Alright, so I want a main hallway. Let's do like a big... main hallway that stretches out this way. 6. Perfect. And I'm also going to add... this is going to be... this is going to be a big tavern area. So, I'm not familiar with this game. Dwarves. Maybe that might be too big of a tavern. I think it's okay, actually. Because I want this to grow to be pretty big. But if you don't know this game, dwarves rely heavily on alcoholic beverages to be happy and want to be productive. So having a tavern is like always extremely important. I want this to not have food. I want this to not have plum helmets since we're just making a bunch of booze. I get along with the dwarves? Yes. Yes, you would. They like to craft. And they like to drink booze. And they like being close to stone. Like the essentials right there. There we go. Plum helmets are starting to... get moved when I need to move. Why are there good mice? I love having cats because they will kill little pests in your fort, but then the pests are just everywhere. What about the dog? I have 2 of the same sex dogs. Dogs are nice because you can train them to become hunting dogs or war dogs that will assist the military. It would be nice to have some sort of like accompanying animal or what's going to be... I plan to have... this is going to be a castle military base fortress, as I think it's a good start for this early, world history. We need a bit of a, I guess, antagonist. I don't know if we're the bad guys necessarily. Depends on what happens, I guess, in the future. But the goal is usually this early in goblins do not really form. They have like there has to be like some kind of demon overlord that does something of high accomplishment, and then they get like appointed chieftain, and then goblins start coming from hell. I don't know. That's something to do with the lore in Dwarf Fortress with goblins. But it happened really early on, and all my other play tests I've done with this early of a world, that's never happened so fast. So goblins have literally just come around in the last few months in this world, and our little campaign here is we were sent out, to a location between two major goblin settlements, and we're gonna try and disrupt them, get rid of them. That's gonna be the goal. And we're going to simulate 1,000 years of history in this game, which is a lot of time. Obviously, it's not gonna probably all be done in this fortress. I hope not. I want to do different kinds of embarks with different kind of quests and end goals in mind. Okay, keeping everybody pretty busy. Being productive. So with rock blocks here, just to explain a little bit of what I'm doing, I can build things with so like a workshop, for example, I don't know, a butcher shop. I can pick any of these things. So one, it's only going to take, all amount needed is one. So I would need one log, one piece of rock, or, I can take a stone workshop and split rocks into blocks, and one rock then gets turned into 4 units of, something I can work with. So it's just like, if I'm going to build a castle, which I do want to build a castle that's like partially inside this mountain that I'm in, but also not. I want some of it to be kind of protruding from the cliff sides with like ballistas and different defense mechanisms. That'd be kind of cool. While the city kind of lays underneath and within the mountain. But yeah, if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna need a lot of stone. So if I can, multiply the output times 4 with every non-economic block that I come up with, then why wouldn't I do it, God, this is problematic. Like, I usually like to just kind of carve out things and smooth the stone over, and dwarves kind of like that. But there's so much ore and gem and chalk here that I kind of want to just like maybe make a rock block outline and just kind of mine out more stuff. But completely new to this game. I've heard of it, but definitely never played it. It doesn't look like much, man, but it's so complex and so funny and unique. Like, there's a lot of, once things start to get going and we have like, we're fighting battles or like having random people visit, and there's just so many things that can happen. There can be, let me think of a couple examples. One, there can be like vampires that secretly come to your fort in migrant waves, which is how your population grows, other than, them making babies. But migrants can come, and one could just be a vampire and has a hidden identity, and they just start murdering people, and their bodies get found, completely sucked. The blood is sucked dry. There's no blood in the bodies. And it's like, it becomes a little mini game of, you can have a captain of the guard, and they're kind of like your sheriff, and they act as, like an investigator. They can interrogate other dwarves, and you try to find out who's the fucking vampire, and it's just funny. Like goofy shit like that. Or one time I had a tavern, and little tavern fights can break out, which is funny in itself. But one broke out, and I had this display pedestal because dwarves like to look at like valuable items. So like if you have a valuable item and you display it, they can look at it, and that makes them happy. Because a lot of this game is trying to make the dwarves happy, and that's not such an easy task a lot of the time. But I had a pedestal with like some artifact sword or something, And in the middle of the fight, they knocked over the pedestal, and I like once it was done, I assigned or I like put up the task to rebuild the pedestal. And instead of putting they put the pedestal up, but instead of putting the sword back, they put like someone's ear that got punched off in that fight or ripped off in that fight. They put that on the pedestal. I'm like, dude, what the fuck's going on? Why are they doing that? And I just kind of left it. It like just weird, wacky shit like that can happen, and it's so fun. Something I really, really love about this game. Just random, crazy shit that can go down. Trophy of the fight, yeah. Like, and I did. I told them put the sword back on. Like I assigned it the sword to that thing, and they just kept putting someone's fucking ear on the pedestal. I was like, all right, you know what? Whatever, man. Early summer is good. Arriving with our drink. We're getting more food because I had a big can have them harvest wild plants and whatever. We're just kind of eating raw food at the moment. So much ore. This is such a good spot. And we're getting lignite, which I can make. Let's make coke from lignite, which is basically coal. So that's nice. And our miners are getting really good experience. Like, let's see. One's already accomplished, one's already talented. The more they do the work, the faster they get at it. And the better they get at their job. So like sometimes you want to leave jobs open for dwarves to kind of do because they like to stay busy and feel like they're being they're being productive. So that's why sometimes it's good to let some jobs be open and not strict. But then sometimes you want a mining job done, so you have to train a bunch of miners to do what they need to do. Oh, and we got migrants already. That's pretty quick. 1 month in. So we got a blacksmith and a weaponsmith. That's actually perfect. I honestly, with how much shit we already have, I might want to try and get industry going like as soon as possible. So maybe like a little industrial bit here. Can have a couple smelters. You know what? I might do like because this smelting is going to be a really big industry, and like metal smithing is going to be a really big industry for a castle fort. We're going to have to make a lot of weapons and armor. I want to have it pretty close. This is going to basically serve as I'm going to rebuild this to be like the core of the castle. I might expand on it a little bit obviously. But I want the smithy to be close. Maybe that could end up being like the armory. I keep like just randomly doing these block squares, but I want to count it out a little bit more. But 3x3 is the size of a workshop. So yeah, it's pretty even. Just to have some space for stockpiling. I could do Hi honey, I love you too. Could do this too. And like, let's start with this. Yeah, let's start with that. That's fine. My miners are sleeping. I need to get bedrooms going too, or else people are gonna start getting pissed that they don't have a decent bedroom to sleep in. I need my woodworker to chop a couple more trees down. We're out of wood. Plenty of bins and barrels got already worked on. I need more beds now that we have double the population. And I could probably use some wheelbarrows to get shit moving. Alright, just keep some of these guys busy. Let's just smooth all of this out. Just to make it more comfortable. So much iron ore. We can have steel so early. Kind of happy about that. Okay. So let's go. Furnace. I'm gonna need smelter. God damn it. Keep building after placement. Smelter. 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 Yeah, let's do two sets of that for now. We'll do little stockpiles there of just ore. I'm gonna do fuel here in the middle. Actually, no, I want the fuel. To be more centralized to the little area. Bars, blocks, other materials, coal. That's gonna be the first big thing we work on is just turning this lignite and this bituminous coal into coke, which is essentially just coal. It's fuel. They're also starting to work on the tavern a bit, which is nice. But they're all focused on smoothing out some stone, so they're not gonna go down and work on the smithy area yet. So yeah, look, you can see, you can click on any individual dwarf and see all sorts of stuff, all sorts of stats, their relations, you know, who they're friends with, who they're lovers with, who they're father or son or mother or daughter to, what groups they're a part of, military. You can see what their uniform is, what squad they're on, if they have any kills. You You can look at their thoughts. They have memories as well. Things that they'll remember and reflect on over time. They have different personality and physical attributes you can look at. Um, you know, all sorts of different things. Items that they carry, their health, what they're good at, their skills. There's so many different things that make everyone, each individual dwarf, like super unique, which is fun. Alright, since the miners don't really have much to do, I'm going to let them help with the smoothing. But I want a tier to keep planting and working on that stuff. I also need someone to make rock blocks. Something I honestly don't love is that like every migrant wave will just have random animals with them and just I forget to update my stockpiles sometimes. Perfect. I have my carpenter make a couple wheelbarrows as well. To have assigned to some stockpiles just because it makes the job go by faster. Yeah, so like this guy, satisfied at work. He's drunk. Drunk and working. That's all these guys want to do. Fight, cause trouble. That's a soldier right there. Alright, and then I need... These are going to be different. Smithy, like actual blacksmith workshops. I want to join. I want to join your fortress. I can appreciate the working conditions. Yeah. Who do you want to be, Gibby? Only have so many names to choose from. You want to be the peasant? I don't know what the peasant's good at. I think the peasant's also a woman. Ooh, they're a nice little axe dwarf. Adequate climber, can swim. Ooh. That's a good soldier right there. Once I get the tavern up and running and I can get some coal being made, I can work on I can already get steel going pretty early. I'll wear lipstick if I have to. Alright. Gibby, you're gonna be this one right here. Olan. No more. Gibby. Gibby the Great. Perfect. Gibby the Great. Gibby Great Axe. Is there an axe dwarf? That might actually be better. I like that. Gibby Great Axe. What's up, Deacon? Hello. That's a good name right there. That's gonna be that's a legendary axe dwarf in the making right there. Gibby and lipstick know a few people that will pay to see that. Jesus Christ. Alright, metalsmith. I only have one anvil for now, so it'll have to do. Alright, they're almost done with the smoothing. I'm gonna let them finish this. Make this last rock block quick. Boom. And then I'm gonna have them start working on tables and thrones. And 2 coffers, so 2 rock chests basically. That's pretty standard for a tavern. We need tables and chairs. We need chests for our goblets. Alright, I'm gonna need to make a wood furnace to burn 1 piece of wood to get this little snowball effect going. I really need bedrooms as well. Although they're happy. They're doing pretty well even without proper bedrooms, but it would help. Mostly done. Also, one of the first couple things I need to make are anvils as well. Let me see. I have a talented blacksmith, expert weaponsmith off the bat. Is awesome. Hell yeah. Someone make charcoal. Literally need 1 piece of charcoal, and then I can start making what I need to make. No, I'm gonna make 2 pieces. I can get 2 going. 2 smelters going at the same time. Alright. Do some of the autonomous coal and then the light. I think 1 piece of this coal will make like 4 or 5. Oh, a lot more. Look at all that. Woo! Hell yeah. A lot of fuel. We're gonna need it for all the smelting we're gonna do. We already have a pretty big workshop set up. This is this is a pretty big commitment early on, but this is gonna be a main aspect of our fortress, I'd say. Right, let's have a chest here and here. Those will be for our goblets. That's a start. It's not much, but it's something. We'll assign this to be our tavern zone, since they're all pretty much done now. Nice smooth down stone tavern. Meeting area. New inn and tavern. The saffron on gloves. I don't love that name. I also only want it to be citizens only for now. Random. Dive contest now. The humble ceiling. Perfect. Love it. And then we're gonna put drinks. Drinks of any kind. That also takes away this. Don't need this in our master stockpile now. So now they'll start bringing the barrels down here. And they'll actually come and drink in the tavern. Okay. Perfect. We already have a good amount of coca. So I'm gonna we're just gonna start smelting down bits of iron. I have a bunch of magnetite. Lima as well. I'm gonna put chalk here. Economic chalk, because that will be... We're gonna be making steel, so we want that close. Kind of make the process go a little faster. Alright, so we have one bit of industry going. I'm gonna dig this I'm gonna dig this pretty much all the way across. I plan to utilize all of this level. Dig out as much as this as we can. And I need to get a residential area started so residents can sleep and be happy about their bedrooms. I also... I like to make a little cellar underneath. That serves as the kitchen. These will be little kitchen workshops. So then that way, we're gonna have prepared meals that get stored here. I'm gonna make it so that there's no food at all in this stockpile, so anything food related will go where it needs to go. This will be all prepared meals so that the dwarves in the tavern can take from that and eat at tables as well, because that makes them happy. Masterpiece chestnut wheel. That's crazy. I don't need that. Craft Dwarf's shop. And a couple more tables and thrones to work with. Good. That was just a little pop-up telling me that it is now the fall. And even though winter is near and that can be a gruesome time sometimes, the good side is that means the Dwarven trade caravan is ready and arriving. Alright, so there's a bit of diplomacy. The expedition leader meets with the outpost liaison, which is one of our characters. Our expedition leader meets with their liaison. There are liaison from the mountain homes. Let's discuss your situation. So nothing crazy has happened in the world, or else they would fill our rumor thing on the map, which I'll show in a bit. So then here I can make requests for things I think I'm gonna need for next year's caravan. Honestly, don't think I'll need much. Maybe just some different, maybe some rum, because it's like a different variety than we're making at the moment. So, and dwarves will get bored of the same alcohol if you make it all the time and don't provide any variety. So we can give them something that we might want for next year. They're gonna bring it for us, and then they're gonna want shields and bucklers, and they'll buy that at a higher rate than normal. Okay. So it's a little export agreement. If we fulfill that, we're gonna make the homeland happy essentially, and they'll bring us more and more shit. Is basically how that goes. Okay. Let's put our kitchens up. Good, our yaks are having babies. Hopefully our trade depot is done. Good. I need to assign a broker now so they can go and trade someone that's hopefully good at assessing. Skilled appraiser. Any other appraisers? I don't think so. It kind of sucks that they're a minor because they're usually pretty busy, but let's move. Finish good bin. Yeah, this is what we want to trade here. And here. Don't want to trade my iron. Hell no. I want to trade raw gems. Alright, now let's just see what we can get traded with a little bit of woodcrafts that we have. And we're just waiting for the caravan to pull in, wherever the fuck they are. Oh, right here. Good. Trade. So I don't need any of these bars. Don't need cut gems. Poop, poop, poop. Garbage. Garbage. These are good instruments for your tavern. It makes, you know, you can hire musicians and that'll make people happier. Don't really want turkeys or whatever a blue peahen is. Silver battle axe, not great. Steel, I don't really want any of these things because I'm gonna end up making my own anyway. Usually at this point, what I might trade for are, yeah, maybe some leather. Start making some leather clothing, because leather's usually pretty cheap. Oh, they didn't bring any leather. Go figure. You know what I will actually buy are more anvils, which is less that I have to make. And we'll get some meat. I'm gonna need some food to get some more, well, not some more, I'm gonna need food to turn into prepared meals. Do that. There is little value icons, so everything has its own little value. There is like a internal economy essentially. I'm gonna trade my 2 boxes and they will profit 830 dwarf coins, whatever you want to call them, whatever we can call the economy, the coinage, whatever we want, really. If anyone has any ideas. Trading leather again. See, this time I'd be buying leather though. You know? Okay. So I'm gonna put all food ingredients here. So let's just do all. Then block out prepared meals, drinks. I don't want seeds down here. Everything else is fine for the time being. Oh, I don't want plump helmets either. Anything I'm going to use to make into meals will go down here. Anything I'm going to brew into drink, obviously don't want that going down here. We'll smooth that out as well so it's a happy little workspace for them to work in. Alright, we'll get the broker out of there. We're kind of done. I need more bins and barrels. Get some more of these cheese trees chopped. Tons of iron. I can start making pig iron, which is the next step. So I turn iron bars into pig iron bars with, I think, the chalk, and then pig iron with iron turns into steel, basically. I want to start making steel items. Alright, and then these are going to be metal blocks. We'll go here. I need metal bars so that nice. What am I called? Dwarf bucks or in slang DBs? That does sound a little sus. Dwarf bucks, okay. What were the thoughts I just had? I don't know. Yeah, we don't want all this sitting out like that. All that food's gonna go bad. I really don't even need bins. I need barrels. More than anything. I need storage for food and drink items. Like Grossen. Prepare for your Kingdom Come playthrough. Grossen. I don't need that anymore. Have a stone worker just keep making blocks. Maybe dedicate a cook. I don't need to dedicate a cook. Make some fine meals though. Okay. So smelting is happening. We're about to be making iron, or steel rather. We've got a tavern. We're cooking. Blueberry stew. They're making some kind of cave fish, cave lobster meal. Oh, it's something I gotta do. This is like a little trick I've seen people do. Where you kind of remove these sections and make them their own thing. So you make them a dining hall. And then you attach that dining hall to the tavern, and then they get like a double happy memory, essentially. I can assign this to the humble ceiling. And then something else I can do is I can make little engravings. I have like a skilled engraver. I have an accomplished one. Make him do that. Sure, yeah, only selected do that job. And then they will recognize that as it being like a really fancy dining room while also being in a tavern, and it all plays very well. Alright, want another person start to make steel. And eventually I'm going to automate all of this as well. We're just not quite there yet. Right now it looks like a giant fucking teepee. It's okay, we're going to fill it out. The residential area is going to start up. It's going to be full of industry and guild halls and what have you. Yes. Yeah, there's goblins. Anybody you piss off essentially can attack you. Yeah. But goblins are just evil by nature, and they will eventually just start attacking, even without being provoked. But this embark, I kind of made it like I'm setting out to try and get rid of goblins, because like in the history they just kind of popped up, and their dwarves and goblins don't normally get along. So the idea is going to be, let's get rid of them. I'm gonna get rid of the stockpile because it's kind of clogging items that I want going certain places from going there. So it's time to move on from that little stockpile. I think normally, unless you or your mountain home, which is like your homeland, is at war with another dwarf homeland or mountain home, then I don't think they will just attack you randomly. Maybe. I've never had that happen. But on the other hand, there's also elves and humans, right? Humans are pretty neutral, but if you were to go and attack or raid one of their settlements, they would get pissed and send an army back. Same with elves, but elves will also get mad at you if you try to trade wood with them or anything like made of animal bones or animal hide, because they are ones with nature and are too holy and whatever to to what am I trying to find? What am I trying to say? They won't touch anything that's been made with natural remains. So like if I tried to trade them a bunch of leather or like whatever, and eventually they'd get pissed off, and I think I've been attacked before for doing that. Yeah, there's all sorts of different species, and those are just the main ones. I think there's more, a lot more. There's all kinds of like animals and monsters and like humanoid type things. It's super complex. Well, good silver and copper. I want to make. I need to make mugs, but sometimes it's better to just make goblets, like metal goblets instead. Good. We got prepared food being put into the right stockpile. Finally. Play for 2 hours. How many? I mean, we've been playing. Actually, been playing for what? Probably about 45 minutes. It's only been a couple months. Only been 2 seasons. So it's gonna take a long time to get where we want to go. Things are now we got another. That was a big migrant wave. Holy shit! Big migrant wave. A lot of things are starting to get done. The production chain is not so broken or overwhelmed. Okay. Let's start making bedrooms. So let's do this. 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like to do little 3x3 rooms. Gives you enough room. To put all kinds of different furniture that they might want. God damn it. Can't fucking click today. I want to give room. This is essentially the beginning of maybe months in the making of a playthrough. Yes, exactly. Like this is going to be like a playthrough can be however long you want it to be. Like and you can I've mentioned this before too, but you can like say I was done with this fortress. I could retire the fortress and come back to it. Like I could retire it and then go play another fortress, like start a new one in this world and simulate through time, and then I could like retire that one and come back to this one if it held within that time or something. So like there's so many deep layers and aspects to this game, which is why I chose it for this project in particular. Um fuck up the design. But yeah, that's what makes this like super unique in my opinion. Like it's not, I'm not only simulating what I'm doing, like everything that you're seeing on my screen and my perspective, like the whole world is being simulated at the same time. It has to be there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. Yeah. That'll be what, 30 rooms? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 18, 24. No, that'll be 24. I can't do math. Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. That comes into play, like trying to manage overall happiness can eventually get to be a very big pain in the fucking ass. This is where my OCD starts kicking in. At this, and 1, and then it starts here. Yeah. Is that right? I think. Set him to the wasteland, yeah. Yeah, I've played that, yeah. I actually really like that game. Just Fallout Shelter, right? I don't think it's quite even. Okay. I'll spend way too much time doing that. Oh, look at these beautiful steel bars. Oh yeah, I love it. All right, let's assign. I have a talented armor smith. Oh my god, we have good smiths. Cool. So let's do this will be The blacksmith, he's gonna come and make us. I need anvil. Also make a steel anvil. And I'll make my last smith. We'll have two weaponsmiths. Why? Oh, we have no more refined coal. Oh my god, we're already out? That's crazy. Plenty of lignite, and I think we're digging more up for the bedrooms as well. Oh, we have like no fuel. Holy shit. Shit, I got rid of this. I got rid of the wood furnace. It's probably good on the barrels for now. Forgot to check this. Get rid of the pasteurize all those animals. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Getting set up at least. Charcoal. This is such a fucking resource-rich mountain that I dug into. Residential areas coming along. I need beds. Also gonna need doors. You need doors to technically separate rooms. Honestly, I'm just gonna make an iron one. Because steel is gonna be, I wanna use all the steel I can to make armor and weapons. I need to start making some stuff soon so I can start training a couple dwarves for my army. That was quick as fuck. Oh, Gibby's married. Okay, Gibby. Do that. Run, brother, run. Alright, I need to also make make an office. Oh, shit. The little thieves. Hey, look at these things. A kobold. Did they already steal something? No? What are they doing? Did this one steal something? No. And what? Was his name Go Fucker? I'm pretty sure it was. They must have seen something and gotten scared. They're so sensitive, those little kobolds. Alright, I need a, what did I say? I need an office. For a manager. So I can start requesting things to be built kind of in bulk. Brew some more plants. And to drink. With a manager, I can put out work orders and I can start actually automating some things that I don't have to micromanage every little detail. One of the few times I played Dungeons and Dragons, I fought kobolds, really. Huh. Cool. That is the basic requirements for an office, a table, a chair, and a door. Once they install that, perfect. I'm going to assign a manager. Expedition leader is an adequate organizer, so perfect. Lead us further. And now that opens up this screen. So active work orders, it's basically like make a bulk of this, make a bulk of that. And I can do, for my still brew plant, I can set a condition. So if the amount of drinks I have in my stockpiles or just anywhere in my stocks is less than 10, 10's kind of cutting it close. I'm going to say less than 25. Then that means it will brew, say, 30. And then we'll check the condition. Check it daily. It's fine. So now the manager will come to the office. There's our manager. They approved it. So that's what this little, it's been validated by the manager. So now anytime my drinks fall under what I set it to, 25, it will automatically send a work order every single time to my still, and they will start brewing. I can do that with a lot of different things. I'm gonna also do that with food. So where's the kitchen? Kitchen. I'm not quite rolling in food yet, so I'm gonna do prepare fine meal. Shit. Condition less than 5. Check daily. And the same thing. Is there a different type of beers, or is it just like beer, mead, whiskey? No, there's actually different types. So let's see what we have. So I have dwarven wine. I think that's probably all I pretty much have. It's really, oh, or quinoa. Okay, they made some quinoa beer. So it's based on the type of crop you have, and I also think it's based on the level. So like, what's our brewer's skill level? So only a dabbling brewer. So I think they'll only make like lower tier drinks, so to say. So I have plum helmets. Plum helmets pretty much just make wine, I think. Until they're more skilled, then I think maybe they can make different types of brew, which makes them happy. It keeps them happy. They want a variety. Dwarves will want a variety of alcohol. That will keep them happy. All right, let's smooth these out. Because they will want their rooms to be smooth. I'm also going to need to figure out how I'm going to get doors. I have this really unique situation. I'm usually so stretched thin for fluxstone to make steel. But in this case, that's all I have. And I don't have any normal stone, which is kind of annoying. Maybe there's some surface level stone. Yeah, there's some more jet and stuff up here. Is like clay and shit. Ah, shit. Maybe not now. Yeah, definitely not now with it being winter and cold. They're gonna get pissy. Gotta keep them indoors for now. I could just dig further down too. I should also start working on other workshops. I'm gonna need a stoneworker workshop. Craft dwarfs workshop. Some other smaller things like a jeweler to get some of these gems cut. Get some beds placed down. They can at least go to sleep on beds now. They won't be assigned to our room yet, so they won't be like super happy, but it's something for now. Also gonna need like, let's have a butcher shop here. And let's have, with a butcher shop, I need a tanner. That can be part of the kitchen area as well. I could just make wooden doors and stuff too. That might solve my problem. But they prefer rock, I feel. Water to who? Alright, let's start expanding this. Maybe we could do a lot of industry out this way. Just again, cut more into that jet because I need it. This could be the beginning of our stone worker area. Okay. So yeah, I honestly don't even set up industry this early typically, but I want to really get things moving. I want to build a pretty little castle with some soldiers and kill some goblins. Yeah, see, they're starting to sleep in it. Embarrassed without sleeping without a proper bedroom, though. So they're at least sleeping in beds, but they don't have. I need doors to start actually sealing them off and meeting the conditions and requirements for them to actually be a bedroom. I have him take a break from making beds. Oh. Taken by a fey mood. Claimed a metalsmith's forge. So when this happens, that means they like get into weird moods. And what do they want? What do they want? They're working furiously. So they're making it an artifact. So if they have... Come here, buddy. So they'll start making an artifact if all their conditions and needs are met. So hopefully that happens, because that'd be really good. Okay. So nice little puppy. Yeah, Uno. We want stone, other stone. They're just working. They're not saying they need anything. You're the one that's not. Who's the one that's not happy? Yeah, it's him. I think. Oh no, it's not. But the ones that aren't happy want a temple, basically. They want to be able to pray. Wow. An iron short sword. Not anything crazy, I don't think. Objects. All craftsmanship. Oh yeah, it is. Wow, it's a really good sword actually. An iron short sword. All crafts dwarfship is one of the highest quality. On the item is an image of Ono Leafy Lash, the dwarf and dwarves in iron. Surrounded by the dwarves, the artwork relates to the ascension of the dwarf, position of king of the diamond of length in, yeah, the first year. Damn, that's a sick ass sword actually. So it's an iron sword dedicated to the king of our homeland. That's kind of sick. So we now have like a masterwork artifact sword that I can assign to someone eventually. Alright, I'm gonna make a work order for some rock doors so we can get some bedrooms going. Snowstorm. Yeah, so good thing we're done with our wood operations. The water's freezing outside, the snow's starting to fall. Dwarves will be really pissed to go outside in that, so. I'm gonna make a few more, extending both ways. Just because I end up needing a lot of stone. Stoneworking is a pretty big industry, so I want to make sure I'm not limiting myself too much. I already completed that just because we have so many stone. Just because we have so many stone workshops. Alright, so that's gonna be all stoneworking. Also do craft dwarf shops. Stoneworking will make more practical things, and then craft dwarfs will make crafts and more artisanal things. I'm gonna make temporary. This can just be a space. This will be no specific deity temple. So they can come to this little spot and pray, and hopefully that fulfills that need for now. It should. I will make dedicated temples, make people happy in the future. So, yeah. Yes, here's some of them are coming to meditate. Meditate on death. Wonderful. Oh, that's Gibby. Gibby's meditating on death. How perfect. Go work order to make Coke. Let's do 20. See how much of that we can fulfill. Well, I am married. Jesus. Let's do crafts. Things are really starting to fill out here now. This is good. So if I send a work order and I don't have dwarves assigned to specific workshops, anybody can pick it up and just do it. So with mass things like this, like I'm just like breaking down, you know, that ore basically to turn it into charcoal or coal. Like it doesn't really, I don't think it really matters who does it, but if I want to make weapons, I'm gonna have my high master weaponsmith do it. You know, it just makes more sense. Also gonna need a gem cutter. I don't know where I'm gonna. Honestly, I could probably just stick. Don't really need. Don't really need a lot of gem cutter stations. It's a valuable task to work on, but not one you're gonna need done in mass amounts. All right, let's have rock door. Do I need like, I mean 10? See if I can make the remaining 18 that I need. Maybe, yeah, I should be able to. And we can have one little nook here. I don't even think I need that much. I'm thinking of carpentry. Alright, so we've been playing for like an hour and a half, probably. And it's only been 1 year. Crazy. Only 999 more to go. Let them go to work. Already made 17 of the 18 rock doors. They'll come up here and tell me when a work order is completed or fulfilled. Alright, so we made all the coal that we can make. Fine. Cancel that one. That one's fulfilled. Make rock door 18 has been complete. Perfect. That means I can close these off with doors. I still need way more than that, okay. I think I still have enough for every resident to have a bedroom, so that's good. Here, I bet these are all dwarves coming with doors. Look at them come. Get to work. The bedroom, fun part here, multi-select. So anything that falls, that meets the requirement of a bedroom in this little click and drag I'm doing. Boom. And see, 2 beds rejected, not enclosed, which are these 2, because they don't have doors. So I made 28 bedrooms. We have 28 residents. That's good. And we still have room for a few more once we can get some more doors going. And yeah. So yeah, we won't get any more thoughts like this embarrassed after sleeping without a proper bedroom. And these should start to get claimed. I think they have to like, yeah, this one already got claimed by one of our miners. Yeah. So now the next time a dwarf goes to sleep, they're gonna seek out an empty bedroom and claim it for themselves. And that will give them happier thoughts. Look, they're dancing. Well, look at them go. They're performing a dance. And they're exasperated. Oh, they were out in the rain for some reason. They're having a little party. I love when they have little parties like this. That's another thing too, is as the time will go on, they will develop their own little cultures and like dances like that and songs like that. You can even have library systems where scholars and scribes will work on writing things that they know and that they're good at doing. And yeah, I want to have, that's one of my embark goals, is once there's some history to be told and like some things to be written down and like whatnot, I want to have a giant library where that's the main focus. I think that'd be really cool. That might be something we do maybe towards the middle or the end. But I thought a castle military fort was a good starting point to like antagonize some things. Okay. I think I'm at a point now. I have some steel. I don't know if it's enough steel. Maybe we make a couple more steel bars. See if we can make 10 more. An elven caravan has arrived. I don't have shit for them. I'm gonna start cutting some gems really fast. I like the music in this. This is a very old game. This is like a 20-year-old game, and this used to be only like little sprites, and this is much more detailed than the game used to be. You know, all these little characters and whatnot. Gibby had a baby. Gibby Great Axe had a baby, giving birth to a boy. Congrats, Gibby. More mouths to feed. Woo! There's someone that's not doing very good. Yeah, look. The dance has reached the point where it's accompanied with a chorus and a verse. The Russet Sparkles is a special social group dance originating in the Diamond of Length. The form guides dancers during improvised performances. The dance is accompanied by any composition of the pregnant silks. So this must be from the homeland. So this is from our homeland's culture. They have this dance, and our people are doing it. The dancers perform in a double circle, turning counterclockwise, moving to the music's emuth rhythm. The dance is vigorous and powerful. That's so cool. I love that about this game. Like things like that that are just generated and make everything feel alive. I love it so much. Such a cool level of detail. Look, there's little baby Gibby. Oh yeah. The elves never have anything good in my opinion, but we can try. He has my hairline. Try to bring some cut gems up. See what they have. Maybe some decent little pieces of food we can use. There's fuck all. Get a little sneak peek. At least come with some wooden trinket bullshit. But God forbid you try to trade some fucking wood. We're almost at our limit. I think the drinks are being made actually. Yeah, see, so we went under our 25 and they're already halfway through brewing more drink. Oh yeah. Also spring, so I'm gonna send some dwarves out to gather up some herbs. I don't want fire clay. Maybe some instruments for our dwarves who have suddenly found themselves dancing. Really need any other shit. The thing, so like dwarves can't make bows themselves. So like if I wanted to have an archery group and I didn't want to use crossbows, which dwarves can make crossbows, but they can't make bows. Like I would have to buy them from elves. And dwarves, I don't think can make wooden armor either, but why would you want to? They have cloaks, but they're gonna be too big for us. I think. Yeah. I don't really want any of these. Maybe some of these more exotic fruits that we can't get. And I can trade some of these cut gems. I'm gonna need a little, or I can maybe, yeah, get rid of the seeds. So I'm gonna get some different fruits that we don't get here, plums and sand pears, and some instruments for the tavern in exchange for some cut gems. Now fuck off. I really need... Maybe I'll do some iron goblets. Just skip the... you can make rock mugs, but I really need all the non-economic stone I can get right now to make furniture and things of that sort. So we have tons of iron to spare. We might as well, you know, go right for the upgraded version of the cups. I'm gonna expand this a little bit. Make some more room for drink. I'm gonna need tables. Let's do like 15 rock table. 15 and rock throne. 15. I don't know if I have enough to make all that, but we'll see. Yeah. See that little dining room trick. Blissful dining in a legendary dining room. And now all of my 29 dwarves, what, 4 or 5, 19 of the 29 are in a happier state, 9 are somewhere neutral, and then there's one that's kind of pissed off about something. A pretty good ratio. Oh, now we have our butcher's table too. I'm gonna start getting rid of some animals we don't really want, and then we're not gonna use, like these goat, the llama, that duck. This pig can go. Havy sow thing. Buffalo. Guinea hen. The yaks we're gonna keep. The yaks we can shear wool from, I think, or hair, and turn that into yarn, and they also give milk. So that's a pretty good animal to kind of keep around and repopulate. Damn, it's already pushing 9 o'clock. Table's already done? Throne's already done. Wow. Let's get some tables and some more tables and chairs. That's more room for sure. Perfect. Oh, look, watch. Taking that poor reindeer down for slaughter. Just dragging it through the tavern. And dead. And then they automatically will tan the hide, which is nice. Separate all this out. And then we can do a work order for boner. What? Bone crafts. Oh, 15. Slaughtering quite a few animals, so we can use the bones to turn them into crafts and sell them. The dwarves are humans and should work, but the nervous tissue we're gonna have to get rid of. I'm actually gonna set a little dumping point, I think. Get rid of this, like, nervous tissue. Because that will rot. And then stink up the place, and then the dwarves hate the smell of it. And they get all pissy. Nice. So these goblets have been being made. I want to do, I don't know, just do 100 for now. So every goblet that gets made Goes straight here. And then I need to adjust this. Get rid of the new table and table areas. We'll add that to the dining hall. Oops. So they will recognize that as they get to eat in a dining hall of good quality. We'll have our engraver start engraving as well. So many gems. Most of which are cut through now. That's good. Damn, they already made all those bone crafts. Oh, boom. How to check how many bones I have. Oh, we got migrants. Oh boy. Make some beds. Let's rock door. I make probably gonna need like 25. Is a safe number. Still setting up here. I need to start carving more bedrooms out. Yeah, this is all the boring stuff. This is all set up. I'm excited to really start making some moves. We're gonna start training an army soon. We're at I think we're pretty much at a population where industry can happen and we can start sacrificing workers to become soldiers. I think the only other thing I really need to set up is probably a much more efficient farming, much more efficient and diverse farming setup. Rap music. Mommy's listening to rap music. Fuck's sake. So these should be filled with goblets, yes. And hopefully, yeah, and there's the instruments we bought, so if I were to make someone a performer, like this miller, they would maybe pick up, if they are good with instruments, they would potentially... Yeah, see, Grouchy drinking the same old booze. We need to mix it up here. So I need to adjust this. Strawberry, I think. Let me put a farmer's workshop here. Let's have them just process plants, because there's probably a bunch of plants here I could be using for either food or for drink, and I just haven't been able to. Let's actually go labor, kitchen, go to veggie. So these are all things like asparagus can be used for cooking. Anything, so foxtail, amaranth. I don't want to use rope reeds. Rope reeds I can turn into cloth. I can farm those, so I don't want to brew them. So you can cook with these, but let's ban that. Too much cherries. So cherries, plums, pears, foxtail, amaranth. So let's do this. Let's take those out of the possibility. So foxtail, cherry, that would be under cherry, pear, purple amaranth, and strawberry. And then they won't go to the kitchen one. So I think, so the problem is I only have plum helmets in this stockpile. So like the person making drinks is just going to use the closest thing to them, which is always plum helmets. So if I diversify what goes here a little bit, then we could probably will start getting some different brews being made. So cherry, oops, what did I do? Custom. Cherry. Okay. So now some of those things should start coming up here, and maybe we get some more drink out of it. Fabric 150 today. Nice, dude. Congrats. Oh yeah. Okay, red spinach I think is... Red spinach turns into... Yeah, it's a cooking thing. Cooking only. Strawberry plant will turn into strawberries though, I believe. Nice. I got a strawberry and 2 strawberry seeds. That's fucking phenomenal. Love that. And I could... Ooh, another... Gibby's gonna make an artifact. Uh-oh. So I can make farms outside, and that would allow me to start making more native plants, because this is technically underground and they don't grow underground. But if I were to expose this farm to sunlight by like digging a little, you know, digging out above and exposing that to light, that would technically count as not underground anymore. So that's a little farming trick I can do. So these are all things I have access to that I can farm in a cavern, what's considered a cavern or underground. But if I expose it to light, I can basically, and even if I recover it, the game reads that as, you know, on the surface, and I could do strawberry plants, which would be kind of nice. What did he claim? A stoneworker's shop. What's Gibby doing? Bars, metal. Needs cloth, thread, stone, rock. Shit, I could do I could do a loom. And I could shear an animal. No shearable creature. Can I not shear? I thought I could shear yaks. Okay. Okay, I can't make any more doors at the moment. Okay, we can make some cloth. Cloth and thread. Got your metal. You got your chalk. I just need cloth thread. There's cloth here. Make a quick stockpile. See if I can put it closer to Gibby and they can access it. And then we can get this artifact. Got it. There's cloth right here and thread. Come on. Come on. Get it. Right there. Gibby might go crazy. Oh yeah. That's awesome, Mick. Happy for you, man. There's cloth right here, man. It's making me so mad. Come on. Because if they don't get what they want, they go crazy and then they like die or something. I don't want this. I don't want Gibby to die. Gibby's a good axe dwarf. I need that. Man, sounds IRL. These. Use my dwarf master. Why won't they get the fucking cloth? It's right here. do they keep doing that? They keep spawning and then running away. Like they didn't even steal anything. So weird. Now we're gonna brew some drink, some fruit, cherry wine. God. Is it like if it's not available when they start the mood? I don't know. Why did that other work? Did I delete that other work order by accident? It seems like it, Gibby. We're gonna have a bunch of meals made. And some of them are complaining that they're not getting enough meals. Or decent enough meals or something. A human caravan. Let's see what they want. Gem bin. Let's make a deal with some humans. And then I'm gonna have to call it. I have to go to bed. I don't want any of this shit. I could use some sewer brew. Hell yeah. Different brews. Not really. Scimitar. I might get that. Because we can't make that as dwarves. Humans coming to a dwarven settlement trying to sell oversized clothing for us. Despicable. Some leather. We can get some leather stuff going. Leather's cheap. Buy a shit ton of it and make clothes. Literally a third of the cost per bin. That's cloth. And I don't think dwarves really like care about the difference. They're just happy to acquire like new clothing. I have a ton of meat. I don't need that. Maybe some of the seafood. Plants. Maybe the fruit. The fruit's probably better. Cheaper it looks. Give me new. Yeah, that's how they are. Oh shit, these are some expensive ass fucking gems. I'm not giving them all. I have some. 700 profit is good for you. Hell yeah. I always try to give a little extra profit if I can manage it. If I can spare it. Because then they'll come back and bring better or more shit next time. Kitchen. Fruit. Now let's see. Oh yeah, quinoa. Another one I can. Or plums. Oh, I need to do plums. Plums. Grapes and blueberries. I'm pretty much going to do all fruit. This makes it easier. Like any fruit I get, I'm going to make into alcohol. Just makes it easier with my stockpiling. Unless I can't turn it into alcohol, which we'll sort that out. Then jack up the price, that's right. Well, I need to make a couple... Make some iron bucklers. That's what the dwarven caravan is gonna want, so I'm just gonna stick that in my work order list before I forget. Gibby's gonna go insane because they don't know that there's cloth right here, even though they want cloth. We're all fruit into alcohol. Yes. Okay, so we hit... I think I'm going to end it there. But we have a really good start, I think. We have a nice, spacious tavern that... This is tons of room for the native dance that we have. We have a really good industry area set up. We already have all the means to make steel, so I'm going to start making steel things going forward. These iron bucklers. Oh, we have a brawl. Yep, Gibby's gone berserk. Gibby killed somebody. Oh god. Gibby's dead. I knew this was gonna happen. Gibby's dead already. Gibby. Shit. I'm not ready for this. I need some caskets. Avenge my son. Oh, that's so sad. Avenge the hairline. Your son's still alive? Oh no, I don't see your son. Is the son dead too? That's Gibby. A different sprite. That's not the sun. Isn't that the sun? I think that's the sun. I think you went crazy and killed your son. Didn't even survive the first episode. I need to make... Oh. Okay, 1 second. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna end it there. I gotta go to bed and do bedtime things. But, R.I.P. Gibby. This is gonna be. No, you know what? I'm not. I'm gonna be more efficient with my dead area. We're gonna make a giant tomb. We're gonna put all the caskets. This will be where all the dead are buried. It's gonna be a giant cemetery of caskets. Family's wondering why I'm howling. Dwarf Gibby killed his son and someone else at the same time. So sad. Lost every episode. The town drunk. That's just everyone's drunk in Dwarf Fortress. But yeah, I'm gonna be done for tonight. I appreciate, you know, everyone that came and hung out. I know this is like very different from what you're used to seeing from me, but I love this game and I want to play a lot more. And I mean, we're only 1.5 years into this one, so 998.5 to go. Yeah, I'm excited to see where this fort goes itself. We're not even like in the military phase or the, you know, castle production or construction phase. We're all in the setup, you know, the time of setting up. We have a little bit of residential, we have a little bit of industrial, we have the tavern. We have a lot more to do, and it's going to get more and more difficult to manage, and that's the fun of it. I can't wait. I appreciate you all. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye.